Malaysia's economy contracted during the global recession, but to what extent is it bouncing back? With us is HKTDC's Director in Malaysia, Hoh Jee Eng. So Jee Eng, do you see Malaysia in recovery or has it already recovered?
Well, all the numbers have shown that Malaysia is out of recession. But we are adopting quite a modest number, because we are still looking at the other global economy that we are relying on, the G3 countries, namely US, Europe, and Japan. I would think that the growth is quite modest. But we are optimistic that Malaysia will bounce back, especially when we have identified a few key segments to drive the economy further, such as electrical and electronic products, palm oil, rubber, and oil and gas. And also we are trying to add value to other segments such as agriculture industry.
What's the sort of demand you see really in Malaysia for Hong Kong goods, particularly in the electronics field?
Well, Malaysian consumers have always like and desire Hong Kong products such as the electronic gadgets, electrical appliances. They see that electrical appliances have better specs, than other products. And also gifts, fashion, toys, stationeries, and houseware equipment. So I see that there's an active market there between Hong Kong and Malaysia in terms of this.
And when you're talking about those sort of products that you mentioned there, are you talking really about pricing being the major attraction, or is it also design?
I think Hong Kong products have better packaging, better design. The colors are more pleasing, rather than the standard colors that we see in the market. And I would think that the Hong Kong products have a more slightly edge to it, like maybe the fabrics are of a better quality. The functionality of the products is more user friendly. It doesn't break.
So can one gather from that Hong Kong brands are really in demand as far as you see that?
Yes, especially with Hong Kong lifestyle brands, I would say. In Malaysia, we already have Hong Kong brands landed here, such as Giordano, Watsons, and Sasa. And in particular, with Watsons and Sasa, they have sort of revolutionized the retailing landscape somewhat, because they are the ones who target the highly disposable income of women buyers. And because of that, the retailing experience in Malaysia gets a little bit more exciting. In fact, other Hong Kong lifestyle brands I think would be suitable to come to Malaysia would be those bakery brands like Kiwa, Winghua, Maxim's, and maybe some dessert chains like Honeymoon Dessert. No, those are the things that Malaysians would like. And I felt that the living and household retailing chain got goods of desire, G.O.D. I think that would be quite well received in Malaysia.
So how do Malaysian buyers actually find the Hong Kong goods they want? Do they come to Hong Kong trade fairs, for example?
Some of them go to Hong Kong trade shows just to see what is out there. But I would think that the Malaysian retailers see Hong Kong retailers as very stiff competitors.
Jee Eng, what's the sort of strategy that you would advise for Hong Kong companies actually entering Malaysia? Should they, for example, go into joint venture or do it by themselves?
Well, Malaysia government is encouraging foreign, FDIs. So I think Malaysia government would want to welcome Hong Kong retailers to come into Malaysia, because we need the FDIs to drive the economy as well. So I believe the Malaysian government has already implemented certain tax incentives or make it easier for foreigners, especially Hong Kong, for foreigners to start their retailing operations in Malaysia.
Do you see many Malaysian companies coming here to Hong Kong, setting up here so that they can enter the mainland consumer market in particular?
Yeah, based on my experience in talking to Malaysian companies, the setback is when you want to enter Hong Kong is the high cost of rental space for a typical retailer. In fact, some of them will try to use our trade fairs to test the market, because some of our trade fairs have a public hall element, and they will just use it as a test bed. But normally, they will consider entering Hong Kong very carefully because of the high rental space. Even though it's easy to do business in Hong Kong, they have to think further in terms of the overall cost.
Malaysia sees itself as a center for Islamic finance, and so does Hong Kong. How do you see the two centers actually combining, if at all?
Well, Malaysia is holding pole position in Islamic finance. Now, Hong Kong has always been holding has always been the Asia hub for conventional private banking and capital management. So Malaysia sees Hong Kong as a competitor as well. But Malaysia has the critical mass of players, such as the Sharia experts, the consumers who are already well-versed or see the need for Islamic finance, and we have the tax incentives and the legal structure with clarity to maintain our position as the world leader in Islamic finance. But I felt that with Hong Kong having the knowledge and the capital resources, Hong Kong can leapfrog and overtake Malaysia, given the right push, the right regulatory measures, and the right awareness, the education of the interpretation of the Quran. I felt that Hong Kong can overtake Malaysia.
So would you see a certain amount of complementarity between Islamic finance as you have it in Malaysia and in Hong Kong?
I think Hong Kong would serve as the role model for conventional banking, and Malaysia could adopt some of those models to match with their Islamic finance model.